session, we're going to cover how you can use customer service as a sales vehicle for your company. And it doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur and you do all the customer service yourself. I've been there before and had to do that. It doesn't matter if you're a small business and you have a team of 3, 5, 12 professionals and you have maybe a couple people doing customer service, or you could be on a large customer service team with dozens of professionals doing nothing but customer service. These sales techniques can be integrated into your customer service processes. So the first thing to consider is how your company generates leads and how you get new business. If you actually look at how much money your company spends on branding, positioning, and getting your business name out there, it's probably quite a lot per year. If you also look at how much money you spend on a per lead basis, either in search engine optimization or Google AdWords, you might find that the company spends, let's say, $4 or $5 per click to get somebody from a website such as Yahoo, Bing, or Google to come from that search engine to your website. Now, if 1 out of every, say, 30 people who come to your website are actually somewhat interested in your product, then that means that you've spent, say, $4 times 30, $120 to get that interested person to your website. So it's a $120 investment to get that person on your website who's somewhat interested. The people who are most interested are going to do one of two things. They're going to either sign up and buy your product and service, which is probably the ultimate goal, or they're going to send you a question about the product or service to make sure it's right for them, to make sure you're a real company, to make sure you have real customer service, to make sure that it's going to work out for them and they're not going to get screwed by getting something they didn't want and then not be able to get a refund. They want to make sure that there's a real business behind the product or service that's being sold. So what you have to think about is maybe 30% of those interested people that cost $120 to get there are just going to sign up, buy your product, be a profitable customer for you. The other 70% are going to ask that question, hopefully, or a percentage of them will, and each of those people still cost you $120 to get to your website. So when they send you customer service emails, these are people who you've paid a lot to get there, they're midway through the process of evaluating your product, and even if they have the stupidest customer service question in the world, like how much does your product cost, when on one of the 4 pages of your website you clearly say in big font how much your product costs, you still need to answer it completely in a nice professional way so that they will feel like they've been treated with respect, that they have complete information, and that they are more likely to buy your product after that interaction. What happens is, lots of the times after you get 300, 500, thousands of emails per week in customer service, a lot of the questions can be somewhat annoying because they are so easy to look up on the website. The person obviously spent very little time putting any effort into answering their own question. But the truth is, some people just like to interact with the team behind a product, and they like to make sure that the business is 100% above board and professional. So what you have to do and train your whole customer service team in thinking is that the interactions you have over customer service are your opportunities to boost your brand and boost the sales for your company. So if somebody asks a question about, how long has your product or service been around, because I've never heard of your company before, or if they ask something about, I know you have so many video resources available, but why don't you have a in-person coaching session available? You have to have an email template answer or a PDF answer or a frequently asked questions answer you can point them to that's pre-written, that's 100% professional, that not only answers their question about why your product may or may not be a good fit, but then naturally weaves into how your product is great, the story behind how it was created, and now maybe a link to what others are saying about it to your testimonials page. So that's just one example of how you can handle customer service and turn it into a sales vehicle. And I would challenge you to look at everything that you find frustrating about customer service, or your team has trouble in answering, or may not seem like it's worth the time in customer service, and really narrow it down to whether that person is someone that you've already spent $50, $100, $200 to get to that point in the sales cycle, and if you're just letting them go and not spending a lot of time on treating them with respect and giving them complete answers that talk about the benefits of your product and answers their question, you may be missing out on a lot of sales and your conversion rate may be a lot lower. So while customer service may not be the most exciting thing for an entrepreneur, small business owner, or business manager to think about strategically, it can be a source of growth for your company and a strategic advantage over your competitors. So thank you for joining us today.